Let's see what's new in colourful and indie makeup, and we also have a little update on the leaked lab situation, which somehow I think made things even worse. But let's start with the new makeup releases. The new and very exciting one from Unearthly Cosmetics. They have just launched the Hardware collection, which are silver and grey lipsticks, and I'm so obsessed with this silver bullet lipstick. You have no idea. I need it. I feel like I need it. It will be so perfect for ombre lips. I don't think it will look very good on me as an alone lipstick, but imagine it paired with like black for an ombre, or with any color, frankly. Like you can use any color you like and just use the silver lipstick in the middle. Mwah! A genius idea. And this gray liquid lipstick is actually not an easy color to find. If it's true gray, more often than not, somehow grays are always dark grays, and this one is kind of like a medium gray. So great collection on Unearthly Cosmetics, great job. And also the liquid eyeshadow and silver sparkles, I think might also make a great silver sparkly topper. If you don't want the gloss, if you want something that sets down to matte. And also Unearthly Cosmetics had a previous very gorgeous collection, a collaboration with the creator Andromeda. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. I apologize if I'm not. This Woeful Whimsy palette is absolutely delightful. Like the colors are so good. You can tell looking at me that I love these kinds of colors. But this green, this purple, it's absolutely a perfect purple together with the pink. Oh, one of my dream color stories, you know, if it's not a full rainbow, then maybe it's this one. And of course the sparkles, the iridescent things are absolutely gorgeous. And then we have something that's about to be released from Bellabeautébar, the Ying Yang palette. They have not revealed the contents yet as when I'm filming this. If they have had by the time I'm editing this video, I will insert the picture here. But so far, let me speculate. They say opposite forces are connected and balanced. Yada yada, inspired by the philosophy of yin and yang, representing the balance between opposite yet complementary forces. So I'm thinking this should be like a light and dark palette, especially seeing that brands love releasing pastels for spring. So maybe it will be pastel and like darker jewel tones, like blackened colors. I think it's something like that, and also the shimmers will be both light and dark. Put your guesses in the comments and then we'll see what they give us. Now a release that's a bit less recent, but still actually recent. It's been launched only a month ago, and I think in today's society it's like an old release if it's older than 2 weeks, but actually it's still a new release. And the collection is absolutely beautiful. It's called Silver and Cold by Dieverune Cosmetics. The palette I think is very cute. It's both neutral and colorful, but not in a brown way, you know, in a more interesting way. Although they do have a brown here, but it's not like all browns. They also have beautiful singles, 3 lip glosses and 1 lip mud, which is something like a moussey and maybe slightly sheared out liquid lipstick. And the color of this lip mud is gray. I think absolutely beautiful. It will make a beautiful base for the glosses. Or you can wear like all these products alone, obviously. I have tried Dieverune loose pigments before. They were super shiny and beautiful. Ace Beauté is giving us a pH activated cream blush. I mean, if you like this kind of stuff, if you like to play with pH activated, great, but it's gonna be a pink blush, I'm gonna tell you right now. Because all these pH activated products are a gimmick essentially, like they feel a bit like kids makeup to me. I remember I had, you know, these pH activated lip balms when I was a kid, and that was fun because the lip balm is, for example, white or green and it changes to pink and you're like, whoa, how does that happen? Now that I'm older, I just know that all the pH level in humans is roughly the same. We are all about the same pH level. That's why these products always change to about the same shade on everyone. And yes, it can look a bit different on people just because the shade is sheer. So obviously if your skin tone is fair, this pink is going to be lighter. If your skin tone is deep, this pink is going to be darker, but not because the pH is different, not because the blush is doing something different, but simply because your skin tone shows through, like it's a sheer product. So I don't know, like I would get this for a kid. I wouldn't get this for myself, but I know a lot of people like to play with those, and no shade. I'm just kind of bored of these products doing the same thing over and over again. Now, a release that I do like are these colourful mascaras from Thrive Causemetics, and I wish they also added a purple, like not a burgundy, but a purple. But at the same time, I'm so happy they did launch these and that more brands are launching colourful mascaras, and we are having a bigger variety in the market. I just want to gesticulate with my hands, but I have my phone here. because I'm reading the makeup news to you. Anyway, as a colorful mascara girly, I love colorful mascaras and I'm so happy we have more choice with those. Speaking of colorful, we've got quite a few new palettes. For example, Touch of Glam Beauty launched Midnight and Aspen palette, and Touch of Glam Beauty makes absolutely gorgeous holochromes. Like the holo is hollowing for real and the multi-chromes are multi-chroming, and that all happens in one shade. So I think these are very beautiful. They included some mattes there too, and what I absolutely love about this palette, that the mattes that were included have vibrant and bright colors. So it's not like, oh, we included holochromes, they will be the star of the show, but all you get to have to put under them or around them or in your outer corner are like browns and grays. No, they have a bright pink here, they have a bright blue, and that's how it's done in my opinion. Let me know what you think. Would you prefer a neutral color in there? The next palette definitely worth mentioning is the Gourmande Girls Apparition palette, and it's kind of ghost themes, which I think is so cute for spring, because usually these topics are just reserved for Halloween and they did it for spring. Seeing that April, especially the end of April, is like half-a-ween, aka it's half a year to Halloween, and I think this is just such a cute approach to spring pastels, and they have some darker shades here to fit the ghost theme, of course. I have tried Gourmande Girls palettes. I've tried their Calavera palette. They're both mattes and shimmers, and I really like the quality. I have a video about that if you want to learn more, but overall I think their eyeshadows are really good for oily eyelid girlies. Another palette we have to talk about is Glaminatrix Cosmetics. It's called Silent But Deadly, and I think it's a very beautiful color story, but the name, I don't get this humor. Like, maybe you do, and that's fine. I don't. Silent But Deadly, it's kind of a preface to their other palette, which was poop themed, which was an April Fool's joke last year, but people really liked the palette itself, the color story, and they wanted Glaminatrix to make it, so Glaminatrix did, but they used two different names for the palette. Like, you could buy the poop themed palette, or you could buy the palette that was called Grounded, that had the same colors but different, you know, names of the shades and name of the palette. And this palette is called Silent But Deadly, and it's also kind of an April Fool's joke, except it's not a joke. They're actually launching it, but they announced it on the 1st of April, and Silent But Deadly means a fart. I don't mind it. I'm not a prude. You know, it's not like I'm saying, oh, you know, don't talk about these things to me. No, that's a normal bodily function. And therefore, I don't really understand what's funny about it. I can imagine the word fart being used in a joke, but the phrase something like, oh, somebody farted and that's the whole joke? What? Where is the joke? But if you like these kinds of jokes, you probably will like the name of the palette. If not, I think we can still appreciate the color story because it's really cute. For a moment, let's move out of the USA to Europe. Lethal Cosmetics has also launched a new palette, Black Spring Collection. So not just a palette, but they have also launched the eye bases and, oh yes, and the blushes, among which there is a purple blush, like really, really purple. I think that's a super interesting collection. And the palette is like not too bright, but at the same time colorful. Maybe not exactly perfect for me, who loves neon and rainbow colors most of all, but I know it's a great palette because you can combine like more neutral and more colorful looks. And also the reds, the pinks and the greens and the yellows is a very like spring, summer, tropical color story. You can do a lot of things with it, especially seeing that they included a black and a white eye base, which can change the eyeshadows drastically, especially iridescent and multi-chrome shadows. And continuing the multi-chrome theme, Micka Beauty Shop is releasing a new collection, which I forgot what it is called. Hold on. Okay, it's called Fleurs de Printemps. And by the way, Lethal Cosmetics is a German brand and Micka Beauty Shop is a brand based in France. And so they will have, in this collection, they will have 3 holochromes. And their eyeshadows also look super duper sparkly to me. I haven't tested their powder eyeshadows. I only have had the liquid ones, which were great. I use them as lip toppers, love that, and as eyeliners too. Now, they will also have 1 3-color shade, which means you have like 3 shades packed in one, essentially mini palette in one pan. Yeah, and also glittery, shimmery colors, light pink to green, fiery orange, and light green with orange specks. So they're not holochromes, they're just like multi-chromes, duochromes with sparkle, but not with the hollow sparkle. Let's move from Europe to New Zealand, where Question Beauty launched a whole collection of multi-chrome mascara toppers. Super interesting. I think wearing them over falsies or over base color mascara will make it super cool. Moving back, About Face is teasing us with some multi-chrome products. Super curious what this is, but so far they haven't announced it yet. Then of course we cannot miss the recent release from ColourPop Cosmetics, another licensed collection. This time it's The Little Mermaid, and actually I'm not mad at this collection. The reason that's surprising, because I'm usually mad at the ColourPop licensed collections because they're all the same, like brown palette with one bright shade, and lip oils and lip glosses, which give no color at all. But this time, I think they did a much better job, although I would improve the palette. Like I would add a purple there for Ariel's Seashell Bra, and I would make the red shade bright, like it's kind of a red brownish shade. I would make it brighter, but at least they did add the blue, the turquoise, the like green teal color, then another green teal shimmer. And I think that's definitely an improvement. And also bright yellow shade. I really love the accessories, the seashell mirror and the flounder hair clip. Oh my god, this one is so adorable. And what I also love about this collection is that they included lip kits with the lippy sticks and the lip pencil, which actually have color. One's a bright red, like Ariel's lips, and another one is a deep plum shade to match Ursula. And just look how gorgeous this plum shade looks on a model. Absolutely stunning. Of course, they did also include a lip oil, but you know what? I don't mind that because they did give us some lip color too. I only am sad that they, of course, didn't include any unconventional lip colors like they used to. For example, it could be green for Ariel's tail or purple. If you didn't include it in the palette, it could be included in the lipsticks. But what do I know? Another gem in this collection are the highlighters. They are looking like fish scales in the pan, and they're also duochrome or even multi-chrome, iridescent. Very, very shiny, very, very beautiful. Everyone who seemed to try this collection was clearly enjoying the highlighters. So good job there, ColourPop. And another licensed release from a big brand is the Nyx The Simpsons collection. And once again, I have good things to say about this collection because Nyx Wednesday collection was super disappointing, but this one is actually pretty nice. Once again, there are some things that I would improve, but they did include a palette in this collection, which is way too brown in my opinion, but at least it has some bright shades that actually match the Simpsons theme, like a bright blue and a bright yellow. And the highlighters for fair and deeper skin tones shaped as a donut, I think are super adorable. They also have the Lisa Simpson bow sponge, so cute. They have launched the blushes, which are like okay. They have launched the lip creams where the pink and the blue, they're just sheer. They're just not there. The red one is actually giving you a reddish, like orangish shade. The genius move in this collection, I think, is the brow gel with the Marge hair, because her hair is always so perfectly styled and you can perfectly style your brows. So I think that was actually very smart. And of course the packaging is top notch, but once again, this is a missed opportunity to add a yellow or a blue lipstick, because NYX, you used to be known for these unconventional colors. And not just for those, you have always made neutral colors too. But where did the unconventional ones go? I think there's currently one black lip lingerie on the website and maybe like 1 or 2 blue lip creams, but that's it. I think, okay, I guess there's also blue Shine Loud, but Shine Loud is just a terrible formula, so I always forget about those. But I mean, for The Simpsons, I think people would have appreciated a yellow or a blue lipstick. At least one of those. If not both, like at least you could have given us one of those. So maybe some thought for the future. A relatively recent release by Fenty Beauty, which falls into the same category, it's actually not bad, is their collection of blushes, where once again we are starting to at least see some color back, because all that Fenty was making lately were sheer lip glosses with sparkle, yes, but other than sparkle, it wasn't really giving anything. And these blushes actually seem nice and actually seem original to me. And one thing that's not really colourful indie, but I just cannot help mentioning this. Rhode is coming with another collection of their phone cases with a lip balm attached to those. Who wants this? Who asks for this? Please tell me, maybe you want this. Maybe I just don't understand. Maybe I just don't get it. But I don't get it. What is good about attaching some bulky shit to your phone? And like, let's not even talk about the gloss. I'm just like not interested in these super sheer glosses, but that's another point. I know a lot of people are. I don't think there's anything wrong with the gloss itself, other than the fact that it's super pricey, just as well as the blush, which is super tiny, by the way. But the fact that it's attached to your phone, like the only thing that's attached to my phone is this mirror, and even that sometimes like I feel is too bulky. But just like putting it in your bag is inconvenient. Or imagine you want to put it on the table. If you are like sitting at a friend's house and having a chat, you want to put it on the table and there's this gloss. It would just make me so mad. Something attached to my phone that makes it impossible to hold, impossible to put anywhere, and overall just so annoying. And so unnecessary too. It's just, oh, it's just that you don't lose your gloss. Yeah, because sure, you know, pockets and purses or makeup bags have not been invented yet. And if you just have a huge sack for a bag and you throw everything in there, like I do, you might have just as much trouble finding your phone as you would your lip gloss. Although no, not exactly. I keep my phone in a separate pocket. But I also keep my lip gloss in a makeup bag. So like both of them are quite easy to find. And now going back to Ace Beauté, remember I scolded them for their pH reactive blush, but I really love these eyeshadow sticks in silver, gold, and bronze. I think they look very shiny. They're definitely convenient to apply. And that is what I would like to show to the leaked labs to explain to them how the product is done. Because basically these are the exact same colors that leaked labs had launched minus the pink. But these are actually convenient to apply. I would probably still not buy these because I'm an oily eyelid girly, so cream eyeshadows just don't work on me in general usually. However, I could definitely use these as lip toppers, and if someone doesn't have oily eyelids, I think these are super, super convenient to use. And now that we have moved on to the leaked labs a little bit, they have put out a response to all the backlash that they had gotten. By they, I mean the lipstick lesbians. They have put it on their account. I won't show you the whole thing. I will link it in the description box because it's a bit lengthy and honestly, I'm very annoyed by it. I'm very annoyed by this response, but I'm gonna show you the main moments, which are the reason that I and other people seem to be annoyed in this response. And if you don't know about the leak lab situation, I have made a video about this on my channel, the previous one, and you can see it here. You can either watch it now to understand what the update is about or later, whichever you prefer. But basically, it's a new makeup launch that faced a lot of criticism, and that was kind of based on customers' feedback. So what do they have to say about this?
You may think we've disappeared.
We did not disappear. We've been traveling. We're at the airport. We're on our way home.
We've also grossly underestimated that volume of feedback would come at the busiest cycle of the year, literally for innovation, where the world's biggest conference happens every year. And also, we had a trip to Korea before that. ColourPop is the quintessential innovation conference. It resets the beauty industry in its entirety for the year. We can totally understand the frustration that mounted because we weren't responding.
Okay, so this is with the part where I am mad. I am mad. First of all, why are you explaining to me what ColourPop and other events are needed for? I'm not here for that, right? As a potential customer or for the customers who actually bought the products already, we want to know what you have to say about your brand and the criticism you're facing, and the fact that your customers are the focus group that you're not paying, and the fact that there are so many things that are wrong with the products. Like, we want to hear about that. Instead, you're explaining us the importance of some events in the industry. Like, okay, they might be important. I agree, ColourPop is a huge event, actually. But what does it have to do with the Leaked Labs launch? Oh, wait, you are saying that you cannot answer the feedback and give us a response because you're traveling to Korea and then to ColourPop, but you chose to launch the brand at this time. I was like, we did not expect this much feedback. I'm sorry, what did you expect? You have over 500,000 followers on the gram alone, and you expected to have like a couple of people know about your brand or what? Even if the amount of feedback was bigger than you anticipated, who launches a brand right when it's the busiest time of the year and well, they won't be able to take part in responding to any feedback because they will be busy all the time? Why didn't you launch the brand after you came back from Cosmoprof? You chose to launch a brand at this time, and now you're blaming, you're trying to blame us, like, you guys just don't understand. The condescending tone again. You guys just don't understand. These events are just so important for the industry, you know. It's not like we're on vacation. These events are just super important for the industry. Okay, that's not our fault. You have launched the brand and we have something to say about it. We have questions about it. You cannot blame that on Cosmoprof because you knew that you would be going there before you launched the brand. And also, it's not like they haven't had time, you know, to breathe and to do anything. They are posting so consistently on the gram. I just scrolled through their posts on the gram today and I saw like 8 hours ago, 12 hours ago, 17 hours ago, 1 day ago, 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Like they are posting every day, sometimes multiple times a day. So they do have some time to go on social media. They just choose to spend it on something else. And I'm not saying they should have responded to every single comment on every single social media. No, I understand if you are having a lot of comments, a lot of followers, and for them, of course, they're having a lot of followers, you physically cannot respond to every single comment, but you respond to the main questions that people have, right? Because if I go to write a comment and I see that somebody else had already written a comment with my question, and it has been responded to, I'm gonna read that. But instead of giving a response to all the criticism and the feedback, they are coming online to explain how they don't have time to come online and give us a response. On top of being online for like the whole day.
I'm actually so humbled by the amount of people that wanted a retail ready brand from me and us. You will get that in some version, just not the way you're used to getting it.
People would want a retail ready brand. Like, who would want a retail not ready brand? Because that's what we got. And we are saying that we didn't want it. And she's telling us, you will get it in some form, it just won't be what you want. Okay. Sounds a bit scary.
It's a weird conspiracy around the selling the data. I could understand why people would be upset with that, but that's not what's happening.
Selling the data part. I don't think I have addressed it in my video, but basically in one of their videos reacting to the feedback, they invited other brands to collaborate with them if they also want their customers as a focus group, essentially. Like if you also want to leak something with us, like you can come to us and people will like, okay, so you're leaking our data now, so you are collecting our data about who bought the products and what they think and what their feedback is, and you will want to give it to other brands, like what is happening there? People didn't like it, and basically they're not addressing it at all in this video. They're just saying that's not what's happening. That's it.
I was either too much, too big, too fat, too loud, too opinionated, too in love with artistry.
Too intense.
Too intense. And I actually thought that I would be rejected by the internet, which is why I never made content, and we argued about it for 5 years. And the truth is that I never let the rejection of beauty, the industry at large, the way it rejected me, affect the way I showed up for you when I did finally break that seal, boom, and come on the internet because of Christina gamifying it for me.
It's okay, Mom. Do you want me to take over?
I think I can do it. So, Leaked Labs is the entry point.
Not the manipulative, almost crying or sobbing part. And the reason I say this is manipulative, whether it was intentional or not, might have been not intentional, but it was still manipulative, maybe subconsciously. Not because I'm a super unempathetic monster of a person who cannot feel bad for people when they're crying and I'm just annoyed by it. No, I usually do feel bad for people who are sad, who are crying. But here, we didn't come to this video to listen to your life story. Like, it's not a video for your followers about your life where emotions are super appropriate and should be left in the video, but it's a response to the backlash about your brand. So it's a video about your business strategy, right? How will you be moving forward? How will you be dealing with the customers who are unhappy with their purchase? And crying in this video is just trying to deflect people's attention from the problem and guilt trip them into thinking that they are, you know, bad people. They make you cry because they are giving you some kind of criticism, some kind of negative feedback. Like, no, this is a criticism and feedback on your brand, which you put out there. I can totally understand that you can get emotional talking about your brand, or you can feel emotional when you have a lot of criticism and feedback, but you can also not leave it in the video. You chose to leave this in the video, and that is what is manipulative. They are content creators, guys. They know how to edit a video. You know what? Just right now when I was putting down my phone and about to tell you all this, I got something in my eye, and I actually spent some time looking in the mirror and trying to figure out what's going on in my eye. But you know what? I cut this out of the video. Here's proof. Oh my god, there's something in my eye. Oh. Just for the sake of example, because I know nobody wants to watch it. Same here. It's not what the video is about. It's not about your emotions. It's not about who you are as a person. It's not about how you feel about being criticized. It's about what your brand will do, how it will update the launches, the policy, etc., to respond to the criticism that it is facing. Instead, you're making people feel guilty for criticizing. I'm not buying that. Once again, that maybe wasn't intentional, and maybe it wasn't like a diabolical plan that somebody had in their head, but it was probably subconscious. However, it's still there, like it's still a fact. And with that, we don't know what the future holds for Leaked Labs. I do hope that they will improve their policy and they will improve their concept and eventually be a great brand, because I don't wish failure upon anyone. I wish them success, but not at the expense of the customer. The way the brand is functioning now, I don't think it's going to be successful, and I don't like it. It doesn't mean that I hate anybody personally and that I think that nothing can be done to salvage the brand, but it's just not what they seem to be doing. What they're doing now is not really helping them. So let me know what your thoughts are on the makeup releases, on the colorful and indie brands, and also on the Leaked Labs update. And if you enjoy this kind of content, definitely let me know. I'm thinking about making this a series, and I also have a playlist for you to watch. Bye!